You had questions, so we answered them. Question number 1. What's the best exercise for the 100 breast? 50 free. No, 200 back. I can't keep up anymore. We get this one all the time. There's no single exercise that will benefit a specific event. In fact, here's Sean to explain it in a manner that makes sense.
So people ask this question all the time because people are seeking a simple solution to a complex problem. People are not great at reading between the lines, understanding nuance, and kind of thinking critically. They want something that's easy to understand that will have a big effect on their performance for whatever event it is. But the human body is so complex and there's so many variables that affect performance that we don't have one exercise that can affect one event. How you want to think about it is you want to develop physical qualities that will help you succeed in your event. In terms of gym exercises, you want to figure out what is the rate limiting KPI for your performance. So is it mobility? Is it strength? Is it power? And you can use assessments to kind of figure out your rate limiting KPI. And then once you figure that out, then start attacking those. So for example, if you can't jump high, work on your jumping ability. If you can't do a pull-up, work on your pull-up ability. If you have poor shoulder flexion mobility, work on your shoulder flexion mobility. So the easiest way to understand your rate limiting KPI is to use this thought experiment. I use this thought experiment all the time, is take the Olympic final for whatever event you want to do, and then ask yourself, what is the minimum thing that every single person can do in that final? Can everybody in that final do 10 push-ups? Can everyone in that final do 10 pull-ups? What is the average jump height of that final? And basically ask yourself a bunch of questions of what are the commonalities between all the athletes in that final, and then seek to develop those qualities for yourself.
Hope he didn't bore you. Don't click away. I know you're getting that itch too. Question number 2. When should you start lifting? Excellent question. It depends on how you define lifting, but basically as soon as you're born. Kind of. Kids can begin lifting as early as 1 year old. Building movement vocabulary at a young age through jumping, pushing, pulling, sprinting, tumbling can set yourself up for a very successful athletic journey.
Feeling like the one this year, looking like the man when I look in the mirror. So fresh, so clean, every time I appear, with a smile ear to ear, cleaner than veneers.
Just look at some of the top athletes. Those guys can jump high and lift heavy. They surely didn't start late. Question number 3. What are some good stretches? Guys, what's with these vague questions? There's not one single stretch that'll help you perform better. It all depends on what you need. Is T-spine mobility limiting your freestyle? Then improve your T-spine mobility. Are your hamstrings tight to the point where you can't have a proper start? Let's start there. Get assessed by a pro and begin from there. Question number 4. Do you have a swim team? Yes and no. Our swim team consists of a group of highly motivated individuals who are aiming to make the Olympics in 2028. In fact, you can follow the exact same journey as them through our ASP Swim remote program. It's a copy and paste of their workouts to your phone. You can follow real-time results from their practice and behind-the-scene videos available on the app. Next question. How can I improve my back-end speed? I hate to say it again, but it depends. Is it back-end speed for the 1500? Or the 100. Depending on your event, your training approach should be different. There's basically 3 ways to approach it. 1. Improve your mechanical efficiency, aka technique. Bad technique is tiring. Good technique saves you energy for the end of the race. 2. Improve your top end speed so much that it mechanically raises your back end speed. For example, if you go out in a 22 in the 100 free, you'll likely come back in a 23 to 25. Conversely, if you go out in a 23, you'll likely come back in a 24 to 26. 3. Improve your lactate threshold. Lactate threshold is a fancy way of saying the highest intensity you can sustain before your muscles start burning and fatigue kicks in. You can improve it by consistently swimming at a pace just below your lactate threshold, which trains your body to tolerate and clear lactate more efficiently. Question number 6. Do you taper in the gym? Great question. Let's bring Sean out again to discuss tapering in the gym.
Yes, we do taper in the gym. It doesn't make sense to taper in the pool and then smash them in the gym. So when we think of taper, there's kind of 2 things we're thinking about. The first thing is the velocity of movement, and then the second thing is the total volume. So basically, the velocity of movement in the gym starts going up, and then the volume starts coming down. And we kind of do that gradually over time. So we kind of follow like a strength cycle, and then a strength speed cycle, and then a speed strength cycle, and then we kind of move into more body weight, speed strength stuff towards the end of the taper. One of the other things we think about is kind of increasing the volume of exercises with a concentric emphasis, and then reducing exercises with a heavy eccentric emphasis. So for example, we could do like a neutral grip seal row that has a high concentric emphasis, very little eccentric emphasis. We can do like a pull-up where we're going fast on the way up. All those things kind of reduce the total amount of muscle damage, but still helps us maintain the strength. The other thing we also think about for our more advanced athletes, so basically athletes with a high training age, we try to take the movements in the gym from being mechanically advantageous to mechanically disadvantageous. So mechanically disadvantageous movements, the total absolute load is going to be less because it's mechanically disadvantageous, but it's a little bit more specific to swimming. So swimming is actually, if you think about it, because there's high surface area that you're trying to hold with your arm, it's mechanically disadvantageous. If you're just speaking from a strictly levers perspective. And so we'll start with early in the season with more mechanically advantageous exercises. For example, like a row, it's mechanically advantageous. And then as we move along in the season, we might go more mechanically disadvantageous. So for example, like a kneeling straight arm pull down is a little bit more mechanically disadvantageous. Ab wheel, all that kind of stuff, we kind of transition to that too. But we usually only use that with more athletes with a higher training age.
Question number 7. How many times should I lift in a week? Ideally 3. Next question. Just kidding. Let's talk about it. If we have full control over the athlete's schedule like we do with our post-grads, we lift 3 times a week on our race pace days. That way, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday can be focused on recovery, mobility, and skill development. Thanks for the questions. Follow us on Instagram for our next Q&A, and don't forget to subscribe.